These heavyweights are smelling blood in the water, especially after Tony Bellew scored a big win over David Haye. You didn't hear nobody calling out David Haye before this fight other than the Cannon Shannon Briggs. Now Deontay Wilder and Joseph Parker team have reached out to Eddie Hearn about facing Tony Bellew in the near future. This your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic. And you just have to think that where's the competitive nature among fighters now? Tony Bellew gets a big win in front of a large crowd. People see an easy money grab, an easy opportunity. Now people got their hand raised to volunteer to come over to the UK to face Tony Bellew. Deontay Wilder inquired about fighting Tony Bellew. Joe Parker called about fighting Tony Bellew. Where is this competitive nature when it comes to fighting other heavyweights, such as Luis Ortiz? You know what I mean? Nobody's calling him out. I understand that he failed a drug test. I understand that, he did enroll into VADA, year-round VADA, I think, for drug testing to show that he's a clean fighter now. And Deontay Wilder did come out and say that he would face Povetkin if Povetkin never got clean, even after the bullshit that they went through. Joe Parker is a champion now. I don't care, how many baby steps you took before, how bad you look versus Carlos Takem, how bad you look versus, how bad he looks versus Andy Ruiz. That's who he fought. Who he eked out a victory over, who's training with Abel Sanchez. Now, it doesn't matter. It's crazy, in my opinion, for these guys to nitpick who they want to fight as champions, And I understand that Luis Ortiz might not be rated as high as the WBO champion, but neither is Tony Bellew. Luis Ortiz is right up there in the WBC championship. Why doesn't Deontay Wilder take on that fight? You know what I mean? These people, they just avoid and dodge different fighters. You know what I mean? But now everybody got their hand raised when they see Tony Bellew get a big victory over David Haye. But when David Haye, was out there and available, you didn't hear Deontay Wilder talking about him. You didn't hear Team Joe Parker talking about him. You didn't hear none of these guys talking about him, between the two of these guys. But now they want to call and inquire about fighting Tony Bellew, a blew-up cruiserweight. Who, by the way, hurt his hand in the David Haye fight, so they don't tell him how long he wants to be out. He's considering a retirement, but they just see an opportunity to make a quick money grab. And this shit is sickening to me, dude. Wilder got to get past a mandatory defense somehow. For Bermane Stiverne, he has to maneuver around that to make this fight possible. And if I'm the WBC, I don't give him a voluntary defense to take on Tony Bellew. If you want a voluntary defense, go take on, Joshua, the Klitschko winner. Go take on Luis Ortiz. Go take on somebody of that upper echelon, Tyson Fury, who he's going to talk about in the next video, one of these next videos. And Joe Parker, I think he's trying to do contingency plans in case Fury gets in trouble for that PED thing. But it sounds like, Tyson Fury is not too worried about it. So the Furies might be all right. The Cousins might be right on that front. But, for both of these guys to jump at the bit hours after Tony Bellew scores a big KO over David Haye is sickening, because they wasn't calling David Haye out. They ain't calling Ortiz out. They ain't calling Klitschko out. Wilder did call Joshua out, but we know how that's going to go between the two. It's going to be years before we see that. But this your boy CJ Goodfella with the Boxing Clinic. We gone.